Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Kibin Alleyne, filling in for Dr. Bob Lee, and you are watching Open, the live and interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Don't forget to stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, over 20 million pets live in poverty with their families in the U.S., and 70% of pets living in poverty have never seen a veterinarian. A new poll shows that only 28% of people are aware of this national crisis. This is a serious issue that is being addressed by the Humane Society of the United States through its More Than a Pet campaign, which aims to help pets living in poverty with their families and keep people and their pets together. Joining us to discuss is Katie Block, President and CEO of the Humane Society of the United States. Katie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us both.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about your organization?
Sure. So the Humane Society of the United States has been working on this issue for a number of years. It's a national crisis. When you think about 20 million pets living in poverty, if you think about what that means to the families who are trying to care for their animals, get them the resources they need so they can keep their families together, it's a real issue and it's one we're dedicated to addressing.
Now, can you talk a little bit more about pets living in poverty with their family? How is this affecting the animal? Of course, most people who have pets want to provide a loving and safe, place for their animals. But can you talk a little bit more about how large of an issue this is for many pets throughout America?
It is a very large issue, and More Than a Pet campaign is really about raising that awareness and how people can help. We all know the bond between our animals, their pets, they mean everything to us. It's unconditional love, companionship, and people will do anything they can to take care of them and keep them together. So this is really about how do we work with corporate sponsors to get resources, vital resources to these communities, underserved communities. Times we go door to door, um, partner with shelters, partner with other organizations. One of the corporate sponsors that we work with is Smalls, and they are based in New York. Together, these corporate sponsors helped us provide like $50 million worth of pet supplies, food, leashes, vital resources for the animals in need.
Now, I was really shocked to hear this, and it's actually very sweet, but it's a unfortunate reality that a lot of people are willing to give up their livelihood just so that they can be, close to their pet. For many, that's a friend or a family member. Can you talk about the emotional, support and, just how these pets can add so much to the lives of the people that they're with?
Pets change our lives. They bring us such companionship, love. It's documented how it helps people calm down, reduces stress levels. They are our family. And yes, as you said, people will go to great lengths to protect them, to keep them, to get them the resources they need. There we have one of our most recent polls says something like 91% of people owning pets will make real sacrifices for their animals. And that's amazing, but we don't want people to have to choose between putting food on their tables or getting the pet food that their animals need. That shouldn't have to be the choice. And so this is exactly what our work is, our campaign is about, is to get those vital resources to people in the communities in need and to let everybody know you can also be a hero. You can also be a support in your community.
And can you expand on the idea of being a community hero in regards to changing the lives for pets and families? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
So we recognize individuals who work in communities, real heroes, and we work with them to get them even more support so they can do their work. But anybody can be that hero. Anybody can be that support. If you're a pet parent, buy an extra can or bag of dog food, cat food. You can bring them to your local shelter, pet pantry, sometimes food banks will take that food as well. It makes all the difference. Or if you know someone in your community who has to take their animal to a vet, but they don't have the transportation, simply driving them there, taking them, um, can make the difference whether or not that dog gets that important, vital important session that he needs.
And what can people do, people who own pets can do to learn a little bit more about that specific pet? Because as many of us know, but maybe some people don't know, every pet has different needs and are going to need different things. What can people do to ensure that they're providing the best, for their pet?
What I recommend is to learn all of that and more is to go to our website, humanesociety.org/morethanapet. And there you'll learn about how to get the resources, what you can do, where you can go in your community, and how you can help. And that's really important to feel when you see things that are hard, how you can be empowered to make a difference. And of course, how you can support our work and our programs.
Now, as the president, can you just talk a little bit or reflect on, how it feels to be kind of doing this work, for so many people, of course, across the country, but especially here in New York?
It is so important to be able to do this work. We all love our animals, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, where you come from, what your income level is. That should not determine whether or not you can have a pet and care for the pet the way you need. We all love them, and this is why it's so important that we get resources to those who need it. Our study also showed that 43% of the US population at some point in time has had real problems getting the resources they need for their animals. So this is big, this is important, and this is why we really need to join in on this campaign.
Well, Katie, I want to thank you so much for joining us and talking about this with our audience. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
To learn more about the Humane Society of the United States or to get involved with their More Than a Pet campaign, visit their website at humanesociety.org. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open after this.